Hey.
Welcome to W&L Review. Today we will be reviewing two movies, Baby's Day Out and Legally Blonde. So let me explain Baby's Day Out. I can't talk today. So basically, Baby's Day Out centers around this baby Binks, and he is part of like a wealthy, well-known family in the community, and his picture hasn't been in the paper yet, which is a big deal to big families. So, his mom wants to get his picture in the paper, but she decides to use a different photographer than usual because all of the big, like, rich babies have their picture taken by this company. However, the bad guys of the movie, like, I guess kidnap the actual photographers. That way, they can steal the baby. So they end up stealing the baby, and they go back to their apartment, and there's a bunch of shenanigans that go on in the apartment. I think my mom may explain a certain scene a little later. But they go back to the apartment, and the baby is eventually left alone in the bedroom to take a nap. Well, the baby crawls out the window and climbs onto the roof. And so they're trying to chase after the baby, and the baby ends up going on this huge adventure all through the city, which finds out the baby was going on the exact same adventure that that a baby goes on in a book. That is his favorite book that the nanny would always read to him. It was one of those books where it was like, okay, you're done, read it again, type of a book for him. And so the family was able to figure out, the nanny figured out, he's going to every location in his book. So they knew exactly where to find him next, in the senior home. So they eventually go, they get the baby, and all's well that ends well, and the bad guys are captured. And that's basically the movie. So I'll let my mom tell you her opinion about it.
My opinion of Baby's Day Out is it is a very cute movie. It is very family friendly, so you can rest assured you can watch this with young children, older children. You can watch it by yourself if you don't have kids. So feel free, don't worry. There's no language, there's no sex scenes, there's no nudity, there's nothing like that. It's completely 100% family friendly movie. And it is a lot of slapstick, a lot of silliness. The baby, as my daughter said, goes through adventures through the city that end up being exactly what the baby in this book that he reads, that his nanny reads to him. That is his favorite book. And these kidnappers are trying to catch baby Binks, and in so doing, there's a lot of antics that happen. There's a scene where they're at the zoo and the baby is snuggling up to a gorilla. They try to get the baby from the gorilla, and one of the guys gets his hand smashed by the gorilla. I'm sorry. And the other guy gets smooshed into the cage. So he's like standing there, and they're like, and the other guy says, "I don't want to tell him, but the baby's escaped again." And it's just kind of like this ongoing theme throughout the movie, and they go to a construction site, and this baby just has this uncanny luck of getting away,
Yeah.
and it's just really silly, and the movie has a soft spot for me because we used to watch it. We had it on VHS for a long time, and unfortunately we don't have a VHS player anymore, so we had to get rid of the tape. But we all used to watch it. My kids, my mom, and myself. We all used to watch it together. So remembering those moments and watching the movie again, it brings back happy memories. But it is, like I said, a very cute little slapstick kind of movie. It's kind of uh, you know old school in the slapstick kind of department, but it's very very fun, and I think even though it's an older movie, I think it's still one that anybody can watch and enjoy, even though it's an older movie. I think you can still enjoy it and watch it and watch it again and still laugh. And it's not one of those that you watch once and go, it's not funny anymore. And you can watch it repeatedly and enjoy yourself. And with that, I will pass the baton and say that the next movie we're going to review is Legally Blonde.
So, Legally Blonde. Let me explain. So it all starts off with our main character, Elle Woods. She is a blonde, and she's with her boyfriend, and he ends up. She thinks he's gonna propose to him. Her. Sorry. She thinks that her boyfriend is going to propose to her at this dinner he invited her to, at this fancy restaurant. So she gets all ready and raring to go, and wants to wear something really nice, but not like her everyday or every date kind of wear. She wants to look a little special, because she thinks she's gonna get proposed to. Well, what actually happens is he ends up telling her that he needs a more serious girlfriend. Someone who's not so silly. And because he's going to Harvard. And so he breaks up with her. And of course she's absolutely heartbroken. And she eventually decides, you know what? I know how to get him back. I'm gonna go to Harvard. Meanwhile, she isn't necessarily known for being that smart, and her counselor's like, do you have any backup plans? And she said, nope, I don't need them. So she ends up taking the test. She gets just like the score that she needs to get in, and she does this essay video for Harvard, and they are like, well, you know what, we do need diversity in the school, so they let her into the school. So she takes the courses and all, and she happens to run into him and his new girlfriend eventually. Well, this new girlfriend actually ends up being his new fiance that he got over the summer. Real quick engagement there. But, nevertheless, she sees them and he's like, what are you doing here? Are you visiting? And she said, no, silly, I go here. And of course he thinks, this is impossible. She's like, no, we're taking the exact same courses. And she basically throughout the whole movie is like trying to show him that, see, I'm smart, see, I'm a serious person, so you can definitely like get back together with me and all. But eventually in the end, they end up, she ends up meeting this other guy, and they end up being friends, and they have to go to court and and basically be like, they're standing in and like watching, but also helping out as lawyers in this court hearing for this one woman who's accused of murdering her husband. And to shorten things up, basically, Elle is able to make the case and prove that the woman was innocent, and actually find out who the actual killer was. And in the end, the boy that she was friends with ends up, at the very end, we find out he proposed to her, and because they started dating and all, and that's the end of Legally Blonde. I know I thought it was really silly and really funny, though there was some language, but it was still good in my opinion. I'll let my mom tell you what she thought about it.
Legally Blonde is a cute movie. It has language. It does have some implied just things in there. I'll just leave it at that. I will say I do like the message it gives. And the message is that you don't judge a book by its cover. And I'm a big proponent of that. You don't judge somebody by the way that they look on the outside. You judge their heart. And the fact that she bent over backwards and drove herself crazy trying to get into college, to be a lawyer, to get her boyfriend back, and then to find out, no, I don't want you. And then, he ends up trying to get her back, and she's like, no, you have a fiance, and no. And he's like, oh, well, that's, and it was nice to see that she stuck to her guns and didn't go back with this guy after she realized what he was. That was refreshing to see. I would say that if you are a person that gets easily offended, you might take a look-see at the movie yourself. If you have preteens and teenagers, you might watch it beforehand without them home or without them in the room, to see what you think. It isn't exactly inappropriate, but it isn't exactly appropriate. So I mean, what does that mean? You have to be, your kid, yourself, you know what you want to watch and whatever. If it's something that you start watching and you're like, no, this isn't for me, then, you can turn it off. But personally, I think it's a very cute movie, and I think that even though it has the other stuff sprinkled in there, the message got through. And, it was very nice to see that. I like the fact that they, brought that message out. I like the fact that they showed that, a girl who everybody looks at as just this dumb blonde, that she can be a smart person. She just doesn't have to be the stereotypical stupid blonde. So to me, that was nice, and also because I have a blonde daughter. But also, it's just nice to see, for girls to see that. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. I think that it's definitely one for people to watch. It isn't like, when people say they don't consider it a serious movie, but they wouldn't consider it a bad movie. So, but I don't think people take it seriously either. But I still would give it a chance. That's my opinion. Anyways, you want to close?
Yeah. So with that being said, guys, if you liked what we had to say, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments, and if you have any suggestions for movies that you'd like us to review, let us know that too. You never know. We might watch and review the movie.
And if you like the way that we're doing our new format, like how we're doing the long, lengthier, down to the nitty-gritty and telling you what the movie or TV show is about, let us know that. If you'd like us to go back to the old way where we just kind of went through a short little synopsis of what the TV show or movie was about, let us know that. We want to make our channel as enjoyable for you guys to watch as possible. So we need your input to know how to continue to do what you guys like or to improve and make it better. Anyways.
With that being said, huge shout out to Marion, also known here on YouTube as Life Unboxed, for joining our Patreon. The link is in the description box if you guys are interested. And with that being said, guys, we're going to see you next week.
Bye!